And so I was trying to really get through being shy. And I kind of felt like I was supposed to say yes to every single request for 1 year of leadership. And that was a huge challenge, believe me, because I got asked to do all sorts of things that put me way out of my comfort zone. You know, taking this team overseas, leading this group, doing this, teaching. So I just said yes for a year. And you know what was amazing is after that year, something had just kind of broke. I mean, I wasn't like completely outgoing or anything, but I was kind of a different person after that year.
A whole year of doing that produced what?
I think it produced confidence.
Why?
You know? Well, because
Why was that the outcome?
I realized that, I mean, I failed quite a bit. I mean, I got up and I sounded like a complete idiot sometimes, trying to teach and trying to lead these different discussions, taking teams. But I found that it was okay. Nothing broke. Like it was like the world didn't come to an end.
Yeah.
And I learned, and matter of fact, people were like, hey, actually that wasn't too bad of a job. And so I just had never done that before. And so, and I also, I was around leaders who gave me quite a bit of affirmation. And they saw potential in me and they called it out. And that really, because they believed in me, like they saw something in me that I didn't, and they saw a future that I couldn't see. And so they pulled me into it.
What were some of the fears that you were, facing that might have hold you back from stepping into those moments,
For me, it was probably around humiliation. Just a lot of my childhood was I felt humiliated. Part of it was I had this medical condition from a young age. They did some surgeries, but what happened was I would wet my pants like in first grade, second grade, third grade, all the way through sixth grade. But that surgery didn't quite yet fix like the little thing that when you feel like you have to go to the bathroom, you can actually get there. That wasn't working for me. So, you'd pee a puddle on your desk, around your desk, and, it doesn't really make you the most popular.
Sure.
So my nickname, one of them, was Huggies, the diaper. And so I found myself pulling back quite a bit and trying to not be in the center of anything because it was more humiliating. And that happened all the way through probably about seventh grade or so. And then muscles started working. So I'm not going to pee a puddle. So that's a good thing. It'll be a little embarrassing. So I think I found myself not wanting to take risks, not being in front of people.
Sure.
And so that was a risk for me, is to get up in front and be humiliated, laughed at. You just wonder if that's what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's incredible though, to face that. You can't fight what you're not willing to face, right? And whatever that is it's our own unique thing. But the fact that you did face it, I mean, I look at now who you've become and your resume and some of your leadership endeavors. I'm pretty impressive to think if that little boy had never faced that giant, what would the Ron be today, that other version?
Yeah, well, one of the things for me is it's actually positive now. Now, it took a while, but what it did was because I was humiliated and I got teased a lot, something though also got burned away to where I don't really care. Like, I've already been teased a lot. So if I mess up, if I do something, I can very much self-deprecate pretty easy. It's not a big deal. And I also have empathy. I think I have a level of empathy for people because I've been there. I know what that feels like. And so I think that's something too that was a good takeaway.
There's so much benefit to that process of going through, facing those fears and grow, building the muscle over that. Most people do that over a decade. You can watch them grow, and they spend an entire decade doing that. You did it in a year. That feels like a fast track.
I felt like a fast track.
Right?
Yes, I did.
What benefits did that play out for you as you're in your early 20s at this point, it sounds like, right? 19, 20, something like that. Can you identify benefits for the next season of your life by being on that accelerated path?
Honestly, I think what it did for me is if I would have just taken my time at it, it would have been very incremental. I may never have got there, to tell you the truth, but because I said yes for a year, I didn't have a choice. I was just, I did, but I made a goal and, I wanted to do that. What it did is it gave me more opportunities for leadership. And so by 24, 25, I'm doing things that a lot of people maybe doesn't do until their 30s. So I'm being asked to lead all sorts of different kinds of things way above me. But I had a little bit of confidence and I had leaders that would give me a chance to go for it. So yeah, by the time I hit 30, I'm leading an organization that's 100 staff, a few $1 million, large. And, you look back and it was maybe 10 years ago that I was, pretty shy kid. And matter of fact, people that knew me, when they would come by the facility and they were like, well, who's leading this thing nowadays? And I'm like, well, actually, I'm leading it. And they're like, really?